Game of Thrones!
And this is episode 3 called Oathkeeper.
Jon Snow's alive, as we found out last episode, and Davos's reaction is pure gold.
It's like, I know I asked for this, guys, but I did not expect it to work.
So Davos is like, he gets right in there and he wraps Jon up in a cloak and he's like, sits him down. He's like, okay, I know you were dead. We all know you were dead. What's the last thing you remember? What's death like? And Melisandre, of course, is just like, holy shit, I did it. I brought someone back from the dead.
He has to be special.
I don't blame her for that, though. She brought a person back from the dead. Like, that's, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, but you're like, you thought with some very good signs it was Stannis. Now, all of a sudden, you just bring this guy back to life, and you're like, oh, it's gotta be this guy. Not like, oh, let me look at some signs. Maybe this is just something I can do.
I think they're totally building it up, though, that Jon is going to be, like, super crazy important. Like, the big fan theory about Jon being, like, actually a Targaryen, and then...
I think so.
It would make sense that he would be, like, the Lord of Light's chosen one.
I swear to God it's Daenerys. Everything she ever said about Stannis being, like, born in a storm, it all applies to Daenerys.
I think it's a song of ice and fire. I think it's Jon and Daenerys being the last Targaryens. A song, a dance, they're gonna work together. I don't know, but I think we need to bring Jon and Daenerys together, and then the world will change, and then we'll all fight the White Walkers.
Season 12. Bran is in his tree and he is still having visions of the past.
This was a big one. This was
super satisfying.
He sees the Tower of Joy and a young Ned Stark.
Pretty creepy looking, let me
Yeah, actually, like, the guy who they cast, he has the right face shape. Like, it's like freaking Sean Bean's chin and everything down to a T.
But there's just something missing or off. I don't know what it is, but you're like, I get it, but...
And so it's a group of Northmen, including, like,
Howland
Reed and a couple of, like, extras, have to face down the Sword of the Morning. It's a dirty fight.
It was really good. I mean, Arthur Dayne is supposed to be this amazing swordsman, and he has, like, 2 swords in his hand, and he's just taking...
He's engaged with 6 people at once, and he is clearly winning.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
He even manages to, like, take down Howland Reed, and then it's just Ned Stark left, and he's fighting Arthur Dayne, and it looks like it's gonna go badly, and then all of a sudden Howland Reed comes up and slits his throat.
And Bran's just like, what the hell? Like, every time my father told this story, it was like, how this guy was this amazing swordsman, and yet he took him down, and...
It's like, whoa, my world has been blown.
Maybe my father wasn't as honorable as I always thought him to be, and that was crazy. It's like Ned Stark was, honor.
No. But it makes me love Howland Reed a lot.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, that's why the Reeds are so freaking amazing.
Maybe honor comes with age. Ned hears a scream and is about to go up into the tower, and the three-eyed raven says, yep, that's it for today. Time to, like, lesson over.
And Bran's like, Daddy!
But I want to know what's in the tower, but I want to know Dad! And Ned turns around for, like, a split second.
So you're like, what is going on here?
This, like, feeds into my Bran being a super evil sorcerer. Like, he's gonna start manipulating time.
But that doesn't make him evil.
Well, he would be manipulating time for his own personal gain. That's kind of like, the past is the past, yo.
I feel like if Jon's important, Bran's important.
But I guess the big question is, did Ned hear him? Or was that just, oh, wow, the wind is very loud over here.
I'm gonna go with he probably heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really want to know what's going on. Like, Lyanna's probably up in the tower. She's probably had a baby.
We're so close.
Which is Jon Snow.
We're so close to having this theory, this fan theory confirmed, and it is driving me like mental.
Ramsay's Bolton is sitting in Winterfell, and up is the Karstarks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the wildlings are going to be coming for us, and we're like first in line. So why don't you, Ramsay's Bolton, and me, the Karstarks, get together and fight them off? And Ramsay's like, well, why don't you swear loyalty to me? And
Karstark makes some pretty solid points, though. He's just like, look, your father swore an oath to Robb and he broke it. You just killed your father. And I mean, your father was a bitch. I get that. I would have done the exact same thing to my dad if my dad hadn't had the audacity of dying.
And Ramsay's like, I didn't kill my father. And he's like,
"Okay, kid." And, Ramsay, he's just, because he's so used to, really direct stuff. You do this for me or I'm gonna kill you. And this guy's he has an army. He has a lot of people. If he were to, turn against Ramsay would be so screwed.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I have to be delicate. I don't do delicate well.
And Lord Karstark's like, look, I got a gift for you. Wildling woman. You might recognize her. Also, young Stark. Here you go. Direwolf is proof. And I'm just like, Osha, I had so much faith in you. Why? Why?
And that means we have, one direwolf left. We have
well,
Jon's.
Arya's is still probably running around.
Yeah, but, we have one.
Yeah.
Took care of these, children real good, guys.
Perfect.
So, just great. I don't know what Ramsay's gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna try and break Rickon. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit more delicate this time.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll make time. Cersei and Jaime try and join the small council, but that doesn't go very well. They're like, it's going down everywhere, especially Dorne. Those sand snakes just murdered the king of Dorne. We should probably work on shit together. And the small council's like, you can insist that you stay, but we're leaving.
I love the Queen of Thorns. I love her. Anytime she shows up in this show, it's just a pleasure. So I'm loving that she's sitting on small council meetings, even though she's technically not a member of the small council. And I love how no one is just trying to tell her, hey, you don't belong here, because she's terrifying.
And she's the only one who can, tear Cersei down pegs.
Meanwhile, Tommen goes and meets with the High Sparrow, and the High Sparrow basically gives him the runaround and gives him a little, faith lesson.
I'm just like, Tommen, you're not mentally equipped for this. Not at all. He's like, you need to let my mother see my sister's tomb. And he's like, no, I don't. Not until she's been fully put on trial. And also, mothers are this, blah, 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 blah. Completely off topic.
I love him. I love this actor because he is doing so well. His performance is amazing because he plays that kind of kind, figure, but you don't trust him because he has his own agenda.
You as the viewer can't even listen to him because
No.
you kind of get lulled into his way of thinking. You're like, shit, nope, not this guy. I don't even really hate him. On the characters list of who I would like to die, on my Arya kill list, he's not really at the
He's
top.
just annoying because when Cersei brings him in, it's a bad decision and this is going to easily get out of hand. And now you're seeing that fallout, And you're just like, okay, stay over here. We have more important issues that we should be dealing with. But everyone in King's Landing is too focused on their own bullshit instead of the fact that death is going to come from the north. Because we don't care about those wildlings or those White Walkers. That's all just story, and that's hundreds of miles away. They're too focused on what's right here. And that's our stupid power games.
And also, I still haven't forgiven Cersei for letting him in the city. You knew it was a bad call when she made it, and now she's being punished for it, and I'm kind of good. This is all your fault.
I want to know what he thinks about the White Walkers. I want to know what the White Walkers are in accordance to the Seven.
Yeah, that's a very good question. We should put him up on religious debate.
Yeah, okay, so, buddy, there's crazy monsters coming from the north. Any thoughts?
What should we do about those? Tell me. Talk your way out of this one, buddy. You'd totally talk at them and they'd be like, fuck it, I'll just leave this guy alone.
Speaking of crazy men, we get a scene with Varys, and Varys, being the prime mover of everything, is talking to this woman who he's tracked down, who he knows has been working with the Sons of the Harpy. And he just traps her, and it's great watching him work because he's not malicious.
No.
He's just like, look, I want want to make you happy. And I'm just like, oh, I love you so much. You're great, you're awesome, you're so fucking clever.
He's like a car salesman.
Oh.
What do I have to do to get you in this car?
It's one of the reasons why Varys and Littlefinger are my two favorite characters, because they're both so manipulative and they're calling all these shots and they've been playing in the background for so long and they're just so different. Their methods are just so different, and it's just, I think it was in season 3, the scene between Varys and Littlefinger where they're talking about their, like, what are you in this for, and chaos is a ladder and all that kind of fun stuff. Like, Varys talks about his little birds, and this segues into someone who I really wanted to see, who also made me very fucking uncomfortable, and that's Qyburn, the creepy maester, who is now with all of Varys' little birds, and I'm just like, don't kill the kids.
Don't kill
Don't kill the children.
And he's like, look what I found, candy.
And I'm just like, don't eat the candy, it's probably poisoned, he's gonna kill you all and use you to make more monsters.
And then he's like, you know, if you have any friends who want to report to me, let them know. And
I
I'm like,
have candy.
and you're like, oh, thank God.
Oh, by the way, this big monstrous human man is my buddy.
It's also your buddy.
Ugh. I wanted to know what he was up to.
Now you know.
Now we know he's becoming the master of whispers.
Great.
Perfect for him. You know what? He's a spy and he can do his creepy ass science experiments.
Oh, that's what we need.
That's what we need.
Somebody's
Maybe he's gonna
him
bring Oberyn to life next.
Nah. But anyways, that's what he's gonna get taken out really easy.
Tyrion has a great awkward scene with Melisandre and Grey Worm where he tries to entertain them. Oh good, Varys, you're here. Let's deal with our shit.
Tyrion begins convincing them that they need to make some sort of peace with the leaders of the other slave cities because the masters have reinstated themselves over there.
And so it's going to be interesting to see how exactly he does that. Because his methods are probably going to be a little less direct.
And then you also realize that he doesn't have, like, the support of... I mean, he might have Varys' support, but he definitely doesn't have Melisandre's and Grey Worm's support there. Looking at this guy going, like, you don't get it. You don't get how bad slavery is. And Tyrion's like, yeah, I get it. And they're like, but you don't understand. Arya is getting better.
She's still training, and she's actually landing blows and blocking blows, and the waif is really concerned. In a really clever cutting sequence, they were showing the training montage, but they were also showing the waif questioning Arya and, like, hitting Arya with, like, a swatch when Arya was wrong. And it matched up with her being hit with the staff, which I thought was really clever editing. It was really well done.
And then you also have Arya, like, learning poisons and stuff.
So the training montage ends with Arya faced by Jaqen, and Jaqen bringing her to the poisonous pool and offering her a drink, and he's like, if you are no one, you have nothing to fear. And so Arya drinks from the poison well, closes her eyes, and has her sight back! Yay!
She's Daredevil no longer. I'm
kind of surprised, but you know what?
There's also Sam and Gilly. We see them kind of at the opening of the episode. And Sam is being seasick, and he's like, listen, when I go to the Citadel, women aren't allowed there, so I am going to leave you with my father and mother. And Gilly's like, ugh, fine. That is what you want.
So the episode ends with Jon Snow facing down the 4 people who led his stabby session, hanging them. And I thought it was very well done. Specifically, like, he goes up to each of them and they each give their last words, and like they range from just like, tell my wife she lives here that I died fighting wildlings, to Alistair Thorne's was my favorite because he was just like, look, it was like betray you or betray the Night's Watch, and I stand by what I did, and if I had the choice I'd do it again, and you know what? I get to rest now, but you're trapped here fighting all these battles. Sucker! And Ollie just, like...
No expression.
No expression. It's just like, oh, I hate that kid. I hate that kid so much. And I know that there was some serious fan service because we paused on Ollie's face. Like, after Ollie stabbed him in the heart last season, there was so much hate on Twitter. It was amazing.
So yeah, they were just like, yes, he's dead.
of Jon, like, hangs them. He takes off his Lord Commander coat, hands it to his buddy, and he's like, my watch has ended. And I was like, called it!
I'm just like, Jon, fucking no. There's so much you're needed here, don't do it. Ugh.
But, like, I get it. I get why he'd want to leave.
I get
all
it, too.
Stabbed him, man. Like, how can you sleep in your bed?
Yeah, I get it. But, like, I'm also like, bigger picture, guys, bigger picture.
He spent his entire life doing for other people. I want him to be a little bit selfish.
But then the wall is just going to go, and we're all going to be fucked.
Jon just wants to watch the world burn.
At this point.
And I can't tell him no. I get it. I understand.
No, don't
do what you need.
Okay, so that was our episode on number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What did you like? What did you dislike? Tell us about it in the comments below.
And how do you feel about Jon's selfishness? Because clearly this is an object of contention for us. Anyways, we will see you guys later.